Okay, good evening, all. Welcome to In the Paint. My name is Rodney Jones. I am the host slash moderator, and joining me is Mr. Max 611. His screen is up, but he went to take care of something really quick, so we're just gonna hold on until the man joins us. So, thank you, people out in Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, for joining us tonight. Appreciate that. We're gonna have a pretty good show tonight. A lot of really good topics that's gonna be happening. Just waiting for this guy and see. Let's see what happens to him if he's gonna join or not. So just be patient. So until then, let me just say this real quick. Anybody out there that messes with me, they better keep their name out of keep my name out their mouth, should I say? you know. So with that big story, I was just entertaining people while you was off and about. So whatever.
You Chris Rock now? I mean, you excuse me, you Will Smith now?
I don't want to be that guy at this point. You know what I'm saying? He's receiving too much fire. I do not. Nah, I'm good. I'm good as me. Thank you very much. I'll just say that.
What was your take on
it? I really rather keep my opinion to myself on this one. I really would. To be honest with you, I just think that it was just really a shit show at that point. I'll just say that, but I'm not gonna divulge publicly what I really truly think. It was just it was a bad look. I'll just say that it was a bad look.
Such a politician.
Turn that down too. I hear myself talking. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll be a politician. That's all right. I don't care. I'll be running for mayor next term. Okay, for New York City. So vote for me. So with that being said, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing
all
good.
Right, that's good.
How you doing?
I'm hanging. I'm ready to have a nice like an entertaining show, productive. And
Yes,
let's get, hopefully we'll be joined by some other people. And if not, it's fine as well. Yeah. And again, people, please, not gonna say please. If you enjoy the product, you should share it with your friends, your people. It'd be appreciated. I'm not gonna be begging, but I'll just put it out there for you, and you make your decision on what you want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just leave it right there.
That's right.
You ready to start this show?
Let's go, brother.
Let's do it. First thing on the docket tonight, a little bit of a NCAA Final Four news. St. Peter's head coach Shaheen Holloway, alleged to be leaving for Seton Hall. What the hell's on my mind? You know what I'm saying? He's alleged to be leaving to go to his alma mater of Seton Hall. And Mac, we had talked about this previously offline this week, and I gotta tell you honestly, it was eventually that it's gonna happen. It was gonna happen at some point. It really was. I truly believe that. What he did was he waited for the right moment. You understand? He got the St. Peter to play good basketball, good defense. And they succeeded, and they played well this year. They got to the Elite Eight, excuse me. Of course, they lost to North Carolina, but they got far. For 15, the first ever 15th seed to go that far.
Right.
So you got to give them props. So at that point, it was only a matter of time before he was going to take this little position, at this little known university, and turn it into, a much well-known establishment and for more money. So at some point, it's alleged, but it's gonna happen. That's what the scuttlebutt is. It should be announced, if not on Wednesday, before Wednesday. So we'll see what happens. So good for him. And now the other side of that is, yo, dude, you gotta kick your game up now for real, because now you're at a major college now, and they're gonna be expecting results. You understand? They're gonna be expecting some pretty good results, some improvement. Okay, from previous years. So it's show and prove time. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna get that money. You know, when you sign this contract and get this position. But I gotta tell you, now the heat is really gonna be on you. Can you handle it? Are you up for the challenge? That remains to be seen, and we'll see soon enough.
Right. Oh, you want my thoughts?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought. Listen, I'm trying to be different because
Oh, shit.
I'm trying not to groove kill.
Oh man.
I don't want to be Chris Rocked on the air live.
The only person that's gonna do it is probably whoever's in the house with you. It ain't gonna be me.
Well, when you see me, you'll probably.
Well, that's
me, but,
that's a different story. If I see you, yeah, of course.
I just gotta say that joint I was stunned and then I laughed.
Yeah. Well, you were the one that actually put me onto that, because I was like, "What are you talking about?" Because I don't watch the Academy Awards like that. I don't watch the Oscars.
It was on. It
right,
was on in my crib, and I was doing other stuff. And I turned, look. I was like, "Oh snap! Wait, the TV went blank. Why is Will walking? Did he just slap?
Right.
Wait, the sound cut out. Did he just mouth?
Yeah, he did.
And then he said it again. I was like, wow. And then I went to like Twitter and other people.
Right.
And it just became a wildfire. But
it sure did. It really did.
Hey, don't be talking about people's wives.
Well, yeah. And apparently it's, I mean, like you had said, he's done it before.
Yeah, it ain't the first time. So,
chill. So sometimes you got to learn a lesson, You got to learn a lesson. What can I say?
People like they're canceling comedians. I'm like, is this some boundaries? He overstepped a little, but hey,
So, well, what can I tell you? Like I said, I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself. I mean, but you might have an idea of where my opinion lies, but I'm gonna leave it with me for now.
No problem. Everybody was wrong. There's no winners in this. Y'all made a spectacle of Will Packer.
Will Packer
producing and directing that show, that particular show. And I think I texted you. I said ninjas will not be winning for the next 40 years.
Or producing an Oscar
ever again.
Yeah. Let's put that out there as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a shame. The guy actually won his Oscar, his first ever. For best actor, and it's a shame because it'll be, it'll be in the background as far as him winning because of the slap heard around the world. You know what I'm saying?
Let me get my jokes off on Chris Rock. People hit me up. I seen on other people's pages. That's not how Brooklyn people act. First of all, Chris Rock has not been a Brooklyn person for like 20 years.
He killed me with that.
He don't even remember where Utica and Eastern Parkway is.
Right.
He is not from Bed-Stuy anymore. He is from Chelsea. He hangs around with Dylan's, Brandon's, and Karen's. And Chad's, if you haven't seen who he's been rolling with.
Wow.
And he don't even talk like a Brooklyn person, but that's neither here nor there, because
I feel you.
I don't want Mr. Rock suddenly to get his Brooklyn street, his Brooklyn mental back and roll up on me. Yo, son, what you said?
Nah, he's a cornball through and through. Let me just share my experience with Mr. Chris Rock. He's a cornball. I worked at this establishment, this venue, this entertainment venue in the city, and I was outside, just chilling with a coworker, talking about the particulars of the show and how they want to set up and this and that, and he walks by, right?
Right.
And my coworker was like, "Hey, he's all kind of excited about it. Hey, Chris, what's up?" You know, and Chris was like kind of like very dismissive. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that and I was like, I said, "Well, f you, punk!" I shouted that at him, and then he turned around and waved. And I'm like, "You're a corny ass man. Get out of here!" You know, you got shook for a second. You got shook for a minute because you thought I was gonna run up on you, and he's a cornball, bro.
I remember you telling that.
Yeah, dude. I was like, yo, f you, punk. And he turns around like, oh, you know, yeah.
See, that's from hanging out with Chad and Dylan. You get shook.
Exactly. He was shook up. A little punk ass. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure not much has changed, obviously. And shout out to Brooklyn. I'm sorry that y'all had to take this L. You know what I'm saying? Not really, because he ain't representing Brooklyn no more. He's done. You know what I'm saying? But that was
when
a bad.
was the last time he mentioned Brooklyn?
I can't even remember. I can't remember.
He has no connection to the planet. No,
exactly. I can't even remember, to tell you honestly. I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? So
if you tell him, yo, we going to Medina, he gonna be like, huh? What's this? You mean Middle East? No, Brooklyn,
right? Exactly. He don't even know. The hell with him. So let me. Yeah, good.
Me get into Shaheen Holloway. We had an interesting diatribe last night in the Paint Facebook group. In the Paint Media group, please sign up. It's an open group, open forum. This is an open forum. When we here, we let any and everybody kick it with us.
For sure.
Certain gentleman, I'm not gonna mention his punk ass name, but homie is no longer in the group because we don't censor our group, do we?
No.
And there's been times where people get into it with each other, and usually they become adults after realizing, and it calms down. Homie is, I made a post about Shaheen Holloway, and I said coaches are shady, and that's why I sometimes side-eye him because of this move.
Right.
And he tells me you should feel this way, and you can't do that, and you can't take this criticism. No, you can't tell me how I feel about a certain situation. Just like I can't tell you how to feel about something, but we can disagree.
For sure.
And we can respectfully disagree.
Exactly.
So homie got the boot for trying to tell me how to react to Shaheen Holloway being, about to leave for Seton Hall. In one regard, I think it your team just lost. Let that marinate for a minute before this announcement comes out.
Right. I feel you.
And I'm not mad at Shaheen Holloway for leaving because he was probably going to leave. The rumors were already out there once the job at Seton Hall became available. And I'm not mad at him. He's going to a major college. He was making like $266,000 last year on his contract with St. Peter's. The previous coach at Seton Hall made about $2 million. He's probably going to make about $4 million.
Right. I can see that. You know what I mean? Definitely. Our brother and Black Atcher, thank you, and Reggie, I see you as well. I'm about to bring you in. Our brother Black Atcher Production says if Holloway had the same talent as Cousins, he deserves the bag as well. so for sure. And he, like I said, just like you, Mac, I'm not mad at the dude. I kind of figured this was going to happen. Once we saw how St. Peter's was making their run.
Right.
and it would definitely pique the interest of big name universities / colleges, and that he would get an offer at some point. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So, obviously they were the underdog darlings of the tournament. You know what I'm saying? And people picked up on that, and they were riding with this team. So he had fans. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Seton Hall, you know what I'm saying, was like, oh, okay, this guy's impressive. Plus, he's one of our own.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So the son comes home. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? After a successful run in this in this March Madness. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it made perfect sense. I saw it coming
Right.
after a
Right.
while. You know what I mean?
New York, he was born and bred in New York. Went to high school in New Jersey. Went to Seton Hall. So
Right.
St. Peter's was a great story. I'm happy for their run, and we'll see if the rumor is true, but I believe it is.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm not mad at that brother for taking the job and moving up.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll hear. I think probably hear something tomorrow. Let me bring a couple of brothers in. Our boy Reggie your mic is live. Welcome to the show. Also joining us is the Bishop. Thank you, Sir Bishop. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, my brother.
Clear.
Good evening, fellas.
Yes.
What's up,
good evening, Reggie? I can hear you. We're loud and clear as well, brother. You know. So. Oh, my man, my partner, Mr. Dwayne. How you doing, Dwayne?
He in the dark.
Keep your goddamn wife's name out of my mouth.
Here we go, gentlemen. Gentlemen, I gotta ask you, what did you think about? I think I know how the Bishop felt about St. Peter's. He had posted some stuff. I found that hilarious. What do you think? What do you guys think about the head coach alleged to be leaving for Seton Hall?
I think they should wait for the announcement to be made before they allege.
Okay.
Let's just say he might decide to stay at St. Peter's. Then what?
They can't afford to pay him. They can't afford to pay him.
Yeah. I was about to say there's gonna be some plenty of egg on their face if that happens, but well.
Well, but Bishop, what if he wants to stay? 266,000 is not bad.
266 versus how many million?
Yeah.
Can Seton Hall afford to pay him? Huh?
I say his starting salary at Seton Hall will probably start between $2 million and $4 million because the previous coach made a shade under $2 million.
Right. So you coming in with the accolades that you're a solid coach. You took a no-name school to the Elite Eight, and now you're getting a program that has a budget that is probably about 10 times the size of what St. Peter's had. And so the money is not the issue. It's just you getting there and performing. And
exactly.
So it's like, and you already know that you have the goods, like you can get these guys. Only thing I didn't like about it is you got these guys, you had the story of like all for one and one for all. And you got these guys, playing for you and, bleeding and sweating for you. And before the final buzzer sounds, I mean, you weren't winning the championship. That goes without saying. You're not winning the championship. You ran into a good flow where you played teams that the big men all of a sudden decided not to play big.
Right.
Yeah.
All of the teams that they played, the big men decided not to play big. And you saw like North Carolina, their big men just was like, yeah, we playing big. We don't care what you guys are doing. We don't care if you got twins. We don't care if you're from Zimbabwe, wherever you are. We don't care about that.
Right.
Murray State should have beat them. Murray State should have beat them. Kentucky, I'm always on the fence with them because they're front runners. If they're not blowing the teams out, they don't look really good. So I just think he should have, like before the rumor started or whatever, he should have at least waited, until after the tournament is over. He could have signed it, sealed, and delivered at Seton Hall. Who cares?
Right. And that's why somebody is not in the group, in the paint group, because they were trying to tell me and tell our other Blue Devil brother, Eric, how we should feel and how we should critique something. And y'all know me and R have a very open adult group that we don't micromanage and do. You can't be telling people how they should feel. Are you mad?
You could tell him. You could tell him.
I mean, he got at Reggie like a week or so ago, and Reggie gave him the business.
Who we talking about?
I'm not mentioning his name. You don't need no props.
All you need to know is that he was the genius according to himself.
Mad genius.
Wow.
That guy.
Yeah. That's all you need to know. He was a genius.
That guy who's like always they need to follow the law and this and that and blah blah blah. I remember
always on the wrong side of conversation.
It's like Sean Watson with the Sean Watson. It's like, dude, just because somebody said something, that doesn't mean that you actually did it. And you could have accusations. I could say, "Oh, robbed me." It's just an accusation. You know what
that
I mean?
might be true, though.
Sure. Oh, okay.
Ours in Jersey now. He wearing peacoats, loafers. He ain't doing no more. He ain't doing no more robberies. He might buy you a latte or something like that.
Really? He got on black right now. One night he came on, he had on all black, a Raiders hat. I was like, oh snap.
Yeah, he went mock necks and skinny jeans now.
What you said? He was Mr. NWA?
Oh man.
He had on Chucks, Lokes.
First of all,
I saw a rag.
Get the freak out here, man. I'm gonna tune y'all out. I'm gonna tune y'all out right now. Hey, Double D, man, what'd you think about the situation with Holloway?
My only question is, how long was this in the works?
Well, that coach left. The previous Seton Hall coach left fairly recently, and then the rumors started.
Yeah, but how long was he like the number one guy they wanted, or was this whole tournament was a audition for him?
As soon as they got to the Sweet 16, he punched his ticket.
Yep.
He punched his ticket.
I agree. Yep.
As soon as they got into the Sweet 16.
I mean, football coaches do it all the time. I mean, what's this guy? Lincoln Riley did it. So I mean,
listen, Larry
Brown, he's taking care of himself. He's making his own money.
Right.
I mean,
Larry Brown's nickname is Next Town.
Next time Brown.
Because
next time.
After a season, he's like, listen, guys, it's been fun. It's been real. You did a great job.
That's messed up.
I'll be over here next year.
But I mean, you can't fault the guy for trying to get to a bigger, better opportunity.
I don't fault the guy. Trust me, I don't fault him either. No. But all I'm saying is, when those lights are shining brightest and whatnot, you better produce. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Let me ask.
The stage has been set already, though. The stage has been set because didn't what was the other coach who was coaching the small name school, and then he got the opportunity, little light skinned dude.
Shaka,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, it can be done. It's not.
No doubt.
You just on a bigger stage, because from what I saw, he's got a solid program in that his guards control the tempo. They don't beat themselves. A lot of the games that they played, that I saw them play in this tournament, they control the tempo. They didn't beat themselves. They had very few turnovers, and the 50-50 balls, everybody seemed to hustle on that, and they were just tenacious on defense. So
Okay.
he had them at least. And if you take that and put that same mentality on a bigger scale with better athletes in a bigger program, you're gonna have success. You're gonna have success.
Okay.
Maybe the Knicks need to hire him.
Well, he's a former point guard, so you know.
Yeah. He had them dudes like really the point guards. They control the tempo on both sides of the floor, and it's real easy when you have bigs that get up and down, and you got guards that don't turn the ball over. That's easy.
Right. Okay.
I mean, in all those press conferences he was having, he was level straight to the point. It was like he wasn't trying to get no attention. So maybe he already had that in his head that he was leaving.
Until he got to 16. Until he
got
to
the
the
last
Sweet 16,
interview, he was like, they mentioned Seton Hall a bunch of times to him in different interviews. He was like, "Oh, we won't talk about that." Blah blah blah. He moved on real quick.
Well, that's his alma mater too. So you know.
Right. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Listen, I'm a true blue Knicks fan. I agree.
Probably, yeah. I can see that happening. You know what I'm saying? I can see that happening.
Keep my team out of your motherfucking mouth.
I see. This is gonna be the recurring theme of the night. I can see this happening. Yeah.
At least
away from the screen.
At least until Juicy Smollett does something stupid.
Oh Lord. Okay, don't
it's coming soon. It's coming soon.
Juicy said Will slapped him too.
Wow.
That same night he went to get the sandwich.
Exactly. At 2 a.m. Right, gotcha.
Right. Yeah.
He said he was tall and menacing.
The funniest
is not menacing. Wait, I gotta ask y'all a question. So he slapped Chris Rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that an assault?
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
What? Okay.
Let's just say if Chris Rock was a white comedian, that'd have been an assault.
Huh?
Well, it was an assault regardless. It was an assault regardless, and the
state
state that it happened
if you report it.
No, right. The state that it happened in, the prosecution the DA can press charges. They don't. That's like domestic violence. They don't need you to press charges.
Really?
If it happened, it's on tape. It happened. The assault happened. Mm-hmm. They can press charges on behalf of the state. So it's the state versus Will Smith.
It doesn't
have to be Chris Rock.
Here's my thing. When I was younger, you get into certain situations and you put hands on people, or hands were put on me. I ain't never go, it's an assault. I just can't rock like that. That's just me.
You know what I found funny? What I found funny about that whole situation is, the aftermath on social media, people saying, "Oh, well, that's what Chris Rock did, by taking the slap. That's a real man. That's a real man," and all that type of narrative. And I was like, no. What it is?
He was working.
I was not just working, but I was like, no. He is basically a vagina. Okay, to take that. Okay, I'm sorry. Nobody picture me on stage and somebody trying to do that to me. You think I'm just gonna lay back and let that slide? No, somebody's getting ass whipped. Period.
Well, you could do that afterwards, though.
Oh, you have flashbacks.
No. No.
But hey, guys.
Hold on, bitch. Hold on. No, I'm not doing it after. Okay, you put your hands on me right then and there in front of millions of people watching this. You understand? In front of my peers, my actors, my producers, directors, all that. I'm getting back at you right there. Period. End of story. That's it.
Meet you where you at. Meet you where we at.
Security.
So
no, I'm not waiting for what.
What I realized, and I initially thought that he was presenting an award to Will Smith. See, this is where this Hollywood has really jaded his perception, because Will wasn't even supposed to be up there. So when he approached and came up, his Brooklyn should have kicked in to be like, wait a minute,
He ain't
what
been
is he
Brooklyn
doing
for a
up here?
minute.
What is he doing up here? And you immediately get yourself, because it's like, yo, if this is going to jump off, something going to happen. Something going to happen. It's like he wasn't supposed to be up there. You standing up there looking oblivious to what's going on. It's like, yo, you asking to be slapped.
Listen, he rolls with the Dylans and Chads of the world.
Right.
He don't know nothing about Medina no more. He don't know nothing about Pickens Ave no more. He doesn't remember where Utica and Eastern Parkway intersect.
Right.
So
Right.
he has never mentioned Brooklyn.
Right. Let me get what Black Hatchet Productions said. He said it was probably staged. Perfect thing to get people talking about a dying show. While I agree the show is dying, I don't know if it was staged. I just don't. I've watched this different angles. My man got rocked.
They wouldn't have cut the feed if it was staged.
Right. And Will wouldn't apologize. He wouldn't have apologized.
Yeah.
He apologized.
Yeah. You know?
Mm-hmm. Not that that makes a difference.
Who did he apologize to is the question.
Not that he...
That's funny.
Yeah, so... again, what you saw the post that my perspective on it is like, so you let the young boy run around, tell everybody he been digging your wife out.
But hold on. Let me address that real quick. They were in an open relationship, so whether the dude smashed her or not is really irrelevant.
Wait, no, they were separated, not necessarily open relationship. They were separated.
You know
at
what?
The time.
She whatever rules they had, she kind of violated the rules that they had in place. But they've had an open relationship, so I don't even. And yes, the young boy is wrong for violating a secret. I used to work for a company where they manage famous people money. So one of the things I had to do was sign some paperwork saying
NDAs.
I can't say this. Yeah, I had to say I can't say this publicly. I can't say this publicly about any of the people that were their clients. And homie just the young dude violated all kinds of codes.
Yeah, he's on Wendy Williams or wherever he was going on. It's just like
he was trying to come up.
It's like, well, wait a minute. If anybody should have got slapped in the mouth, it's fine. you had your entanglement or whatever, and this and that. But if anybody should have got slapped for violating, the young dude should have got slapped for violating. It's like, yo, you did what you did. That's that. Shut up about it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Shut up about it. Now you on TV, you on the radio, you telling everybody that would listen. This is what I call like diarrhea mouth. You can't stop talking. Like you running your mouth about it. And it's like, okay, well now it kind of like feels like you trying to put salt in it. You know what I'm saying? You trying to really get at me. And it's like, okay, well, we're not gonna have that. We're not gonna have that. So if you really wanted to make a point, you could have did that. Well, the whole idea that he talking about, oh well, she looked like G.I. Jane. It's like, well, wait a minute, wasn't she bald in like the Matrix?
And mostly everything she has, she's bald.
Pretty much.
So it's like, what's the big deal?
What's
the big deal?
It's ridiculous. At this point, I just want to see what do you call it? Well, this is true. Well said, Black Hatchet Production. But I just want to see what do you call it? Maybe a celebrity boxing match, between these two. I mean,
like the one that went on Saturday with Albie Shore.
Oh my God!
What?
Yeah, you heard him. You heard him. Albie Shore had a pay-per-view. God.
He was the main event too.
Yes, he was.
Wow.
They had Flavor Flav as the ring announcer. They had Roy Jones was in Albie Shore's corner. Who else am I missing?
Peter Guns was also
Peter Guns. Yes,
was also a commentator.
So they had a
Kid and Play
were entertainment.
entertainment.
So they had a smorgasbord of losers and broke people on full display for pay-per-view. My thing is, at this particular event, is why are people paying for this? Actually bought tickets to go see this live there. Like ringside seats and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You gotta remember, people are just getting freedom out of the pandemic.
I happened to catch that because I was channel surfing. I said pay-per-view.
That was.
Then I looked at the contents. I'm like, oh hell no. Then I text off.
Yeah. At first,
how did he do?
Huh?
How did he do?
It was
I think he won, but it was the shit was hilarious because he hit him, and it was kind of almost like a Rocky 3 type of thing where you hit him and you fall on like you fall on the top of the person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming he won because he was fighting some guy named the Latin Lover. I forgot his real name, but I'm like, and he was like fat and out of shape, like he just finished, like he just finished eating with Andy Ruiz Jr. You know what I'm saying? Or it was like, okay, they just came out of some Mexican place. It was ridiculous. The guy's like fat, bloated, out of shape. I'm like, okay, I'll be my get the win.
So the card was I'll be sure in a Latin Lover. That sounds
there was some other fights.
That sounds like some kind of like homoerotica or something. It's like I'll be sure in the Latin Lover.
But there was some other fights. There was some preliminary fights, but it was like
really.
No, sir, I'm not even bullshitting.
There were other fights, really? Really? If that was the main card, there were other fights, really?
There were other fights, I'm telling you.
Come on, really?
Bishop, I will send you the card. I'm telling you, I have it.
Do you hear what I'm saying? If I'll be sure in the Latin Lover were the main event, what other fights could there have possibly been on that card? What other was like, Juicy? It's like Juicy Smollett. Juicy Smollett fighting. What's the girl for fat girls? Monique.
Yes, exactly. Fighting Precious. I'm just. That's crazy.
And what's the kicker?
I don't know. I just got
the kicker. What the kicker was after the fight. This I'll be sure goes. I challenge Puppy to $50 million.
$50 million. I'll be sure can't. He can't even spell $50 million, let alone have it.
Dwayne is cold. He said what you said. Was this entrance music rescue?
Exactly. I'm telling you, good one. Exactly. No, I'm just saying, man. It was ridiculous. You should have seen this thing. It's on YouTube.
No, I shouldn't have. No, I should have.
No, you need to see it. You need to see it. It's hilarious. No. It's on YouTube. No. It'll be the most entertaining 11 minutes of your life. Okay? Yeah. I'm serious. This shit was ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some moving on, shall we? Let's get back to
actual sports.
actual real sports, exactly. The vaccine mandate has been lifted for New York City sports. This was a baseball move. I don't give a shit what anybody says. This was not for the Nets. This was strictly for baseball, right? That's it. Period. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got the Yankees, the Mets coming to, their season's right around the corner. You got various stars on both teams or whatnot. God forbid if one of those stars is not vaccinated, people pay to see a full baseball team. They're not seeing a full baseball team. This is all what it's about. It's about baseball. Period. That's just what it is.
I'm cut in. Well, baseball is predominantly what? I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Dominican.
Yeah, okay. You know what I'm talking about.
So if you really understood what this law was, this little mandate, Kyrie Irving could have played every single home game if they just paid a $2,000 to $5,000 fine each game. So it wasn't like he couldn't play.
So I think it was a little bit more than that, Bishop.
The max was $5,000. The maximum was $5,000. And what
I didn't understand.
Nah, it wasn't that much. It started at like 2, and then it capped off at 5 per game. So if you think about it, if he played, 20 games or whatever, they could have just cut a check. Here's the 75 grand. Boom. Keep it moving. What the Nets or what the Novellas did was they screwed themselves over by jumping on that soapbox and pretty much saying, backing themselves into a corner. Oh, we don't want part-time players, and we want everybody this, and we want everybody that. Don't get involved in that. That's like a culture war. Don't get involved in that. You're a basketball organization. Stick to winning games. Stick to playing basketball. The commentators, oh, Kyrie won, this and that.
Yeah.
Once they start winning games, all of that will be pushed to the side. All of that will be pushed to the side. Just do what you're doing as an organization and stop letting commentators guide your movement. The Nets screwed themselves over. It wasn't Kyrie.
Caveat, though.
It wasn't Kyrie.
He's nice, and he should be fresh come playoff time.
He should be.
He barely played this year, and maybe he won't get injured this year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe not. I know they're gonna space some teams.
He's a miniature Anthony Davis, bro. Stop it.
Wow. Oh my God.
No, he's worse than Anthony Davis.
Damn.
What do you mean? Oh my God.
I said, oh my God.
Track record. You see the track record. I'm not lying.
Yeah. I know.
Kyrie was into load management anyway, so he probably wouldn't have played most of those games a lot anyway. So
that's a good point. Oh, okay.
They're gonna space it. If they make that play, and they're gonna space whoever is the number 1 seed or number 2 seed. If they make that play in, they're gonna space them. They're not winning. They're not coming out the East, but they can definitely space the 1 or 2 seed in the East.
Right.
But yeah, so like Reggie said, this was strictly for Chad and Karen.
That's it. Nah, that's just what it was. I was like, come on now. Now you're gonna end, and look at the hypocrisy too. Okay, when you compare, you got superstar athletes, you got celebrities and stuff like that. What about Jane Public? You know what I'm saying? That yeah, exactly. City workers, you understand that stood on that. You know what I'm saying? They stood on that side like, yo, I'm not getting vaccinated, whatnot, but they wound up losing their jobs and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair. You know what I mean?
Those people should get their jobs back.
They should get their jobs back. They should get their jobs back.
So why are you guys upset? Why are you upset about that? It's like all of these people that lost their jobs, there's shortages in those fields. There's shortages of teachers, there's shortages of nurses, there's shortages. So the labor force, there's a shortage of these qualified workers. So that means now they got to pay a premium when they hire these people back.
It's not as short as you think it is.
And if you can't get a pay raise coming back as a fresh person in the same field, then you need to be in another field. You need to be in another field, because if this pandemic has done nothing, it has highlighted the socioeconomic inequities that go on. Because if I'm working 2 minimum wage jobs and I can barely afford to sustain life, to sustain existence, what am I doing? This has highlighted that. And the fact that people were able to exist with increased unemployment and pandemic aid and so forth and so on, so that you actually had a living wage, it opens people's eyes up. How are you going to go back to working 2 40-hour jobs and still barely making your ends meet when you see what it's like to have some sort of economic independence? Not you're not living lavish, but you're able to have some comfort. You understand what I'm saying?
So let me ask y'all this: if if Adams was already in place when the mandate was set by De Blasio, do you think Adams would have done that? Would he have set the mandate like De Blasio did?
De Blasio's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. Because that didn't stop anything. So you discriminating, and I'm surprised no lawyer from the ACLU or somebody took up the case, because you're basically discriminating against New York athletes and entertainers, because anybody randomly can come from out of state and perform and play, but people who are from New York can't in New York.
Right.
That just didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense.
No,
And then
yeah, that made no sense at all.
the caveat was, if you do play, you got to pay a fine, and that fine, it started off as like $2,000 or $2,500, and it capped off like $5,000. So it's like, what is that to the Nets organization?
Nothing.
They could have just cut the check. Right, they could have just cut a check, had Kyrie playing, and boom, that's it. You doing testing, you guys are pretty much being sequestered away from, you know. So like, what was the whole point of that? And I'm not a Kyrie fan like that, but I don't blame him for this part. This was all Sean Marks's doing, and he saved himself. He saved himself by fleecing those bodies from the 76ers to make the Nets whole where they had holes. And again, it's like, I'm not saying that they coming out of the East, but they gonna space, if they make that play-in tournament, they gonna space a couple of teams. So I don't see them losing in the first round. I don't care who they playing. I don't see them losing in the first round. And even if Ben Simmons doesn't play, they still got enough pieces.
He's not gonna play because he
shouldn't.
He has a bulging disc in his back.
Yeah.
No, he has a herniated disc, in his back.
Yeah.
Well, they still got enough out of that deal because they got a rebounder, they got a big body, which is what they were missing. They got shooting.
They got a shooter.
They got shooters all around now. They got shooters all around.
Indeed.
Assistant shooters. So Joe Harris might be.
Bye. Bye.
He'll be back next year.
No, bye.
Why? Why?
Because he pissed me off. That's why.
Because he pissed you off.
He's a fucking idiot. Okay, it took him half a year to 3/4 of a year to say, "Oh, I'm gonna have surgery now." Fuck you. Get out of here.
Well, just think about it. You got. I'm saying you got Curry. You got the dude from San Antonio. Patty Mills. You got these guys that do a bit more than what Joe Harris does. Joe Harris is a shooter. That's it. He can't guard nobody. He can't really dribble a ball like that. He can't. At least those guys can play pick and roll basketball.
He's our version of Steve Novak from the Knicks.
Steve Novak was one-dimensional. Joe Harris does a little bit more than what Steve Novak used to do.
A little bit.
Every 3 to 5 games, he might drive to the basket.
Like I said, a little bit.
Right.
Okay. And yo, Nick fans, I miss Steve Novak. Oh, Novocaine was the man. No, he wasn't. Once Jason Kidd retired, it was a wrap for him.
That was it. You know? All right, gentlemen. Shall we move on?
Yes, sir.
I think so. Let's get into the lane of football. The New York Giants owner John Mara won't settle the lawsuit with Brian Flores. How many times have I said about this organization that they're really pieces of shit? You've never had every other day, exactly. You've never had a black coach. You never had a starting black quarterback.
They had a black GM.
What? And he sucked ass too. His success was based on Ernie Accorsi that built that team.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So he sucked ass as well. There's no but. He sucked too.
No. So let's.
What are we talking about here?
We're the black GM. What's his name? What's that loser's name?
Jerry Reese.
No, I thought we were talking about football, and you started talking about like anal sex. Like, what's going on here? What are we talking about?
Anal sex? Where'd you get that from? What are you talking? Where is your mind at, ladies and gentlemen? The views and
Yo, did you just not say something about sucking ass? I'm like, yo, like I thought we were talking about football.
Yeah, he did. He sucked. Okay, nobody's talking about no anal sex. Get your mind out the gutter. Okay.
Okay. So we get back on topic here. You said the Giants won't settle the lawsuit. Okay. Why would he settle the lawsuit?
Well, he's you know what he said? I read the article that you're talking about. He said no one in his organization talked to Bill Belichick. How do you know that?
Exactly. How do you know that?
Because Bill Belichick runs the Giants.
I mean, it's ridiculous. My thing is like, oh, we're confident in our hiring practice and this and that. Blah, 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 blah. Come on, man. Come on. Stop that. And you don't know. And just like Max said. Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes, he did. Oh no, like Mac has said, yo, this. Come on. You don't know if Belichick spoke to somebody in your organization. You know what I'm saying? And they're not gonna exactly give you that information anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. That's why this dude is not going to settle. Right. They got to prove that. How the hell are they going to prove it?
Right. So Black Ashley, yes, the Giants let a beat a kicker stay on their team. Dude beat his wife at the Pro Bowl. Giants knew about it, gave him another contract.
Yep.
Then refer to a 35-year-old man as, well, he's a troubled young man.
Yeah.
And we need to, all wrap our arms around him in God's forgiving grace.
They didn't do that for Ray Rice, did they?
No.
That's all. Like I said, John Mara could kiss my. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that. Bishop will take it and go somewhere with that. So I'm not gonna.
So now it's my fault.
This is Mara's exact words. He said, "I think the truth will come out eventually."
Yeah.
Belichick didn't speak to anyone in our organization. He said, "I'm not settling it because the allegations are false. We're very comfortable with our hiring process. It was a fair process, and we ended up making the decision that we made based on a lot of factors, none of which had to do with race."
Well, settle it would make him look guilty anyway. So
at least settle it right now. Down the line, they could come up with some kind of agreement to be like, yo, we're gonna further,
he sued them, right? He sued them, right?
Can I ask a question?
Please.
Sure.
All right. The question is this: what does the Rooney Rule entail?
Oh, it entails that
you do what?
Me, you, and R can get interviews. It does not specify. Hold on. Let me finish. It does not specify. Let me finish, though. It does not specify that we will get a job. It just specifies that we will get an interview as a head coach. I think offensive defensive coordinator sometimes, and I think at the GM level also, but specifically head coach.
Well, you see, they added stuff to their rule today.
Yes, they did.
Now, hiring females.
It says that the NFL says all teams must add minority offensive coach, and that includes women.
Did they say offensive coordinator? They say offensive coach.
They said offensive coach. I could get into this, and let's see. A minority offensive assistant coach for the 2022 season. Yeah.
It does not say offensive coordinator, does it?
No, it says, again, offensive assistant coach.
Right. So the Rooney Rule just protects organizations from them being who they really are, which is, we'll interview R, but he's not getting the job.
He's not getting the job anyway. Exactly.
Okay, so now this lawsuit, based on this Rooney Rule, who does it benefit? Don't benefit Brian Flores, that's for sure. The Rooney Rule protects these owners. Okay, yeah, it says we have to interview. Never said we had to hire you.
That's the problem. Exactly. That's the problem. You know what I mean?
So
and now a guy, I had posted this story on Facebook, and a guy that most of you know, Eric Colazzo, had a response to that. He was like, on the surface, it may seem pretty decent, but it's really not, because now, people are going to be like, oh, you just got hired because of this and that. You understand? Because of what was in place right now. You know what I mean? And I understand that. That's a pretty damn good point.
So
it's just window dressing, fluff, and security for the owners.
Just gaslighting everybody. That's all.
Yep.
So you're an offensive assistant coach. That means that you pick up all the clipboards and you do the errands for the real coaches, for the real offensive coaches.
Yeah.
Rub the grass out of my cleats, Bishop.
Yeah. Let me get a latte when you make that run to Starbucks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Crazy, man.
It seems like the NFL can't get out of their own way.
No, there's not going to be any real change. It's going to be status quo, no matter what they try to do, because it's not real. It's not real solutions. You understand? In order to have real solutions, you're gonna have some ugliness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's gonna have to be some real fucking talk, and that's just what it is. If they're not gonna be real with each other, you know what I'm saying, or realistic with each other, it's not gonna be anything. It's gonna be the same old bullshit, just coming in a different package. You know what I'm saying? But it's still gonna wind up shit in a package.
Well,
let me. Go ahead, Bishop.
No, I'm saying, like, if you just step back a second, timing is everything. So right now it may not seem like the lawsuit has enough, grounds to stand on or whatever, but that's today. A couple of weeks from now, a month from now, something else could come out, and then this gives it a bit more credence. And I think ultimately what they'll wind up doing is they'll wind up settling, because you just want this to go away.
Yeah,
you just want this to go away because it's piling on. Yes, we all know that this is the good old boy system, but if you just keep piling stuff on, eventually something's gonna stick, and it's like, okay, well, do we want this lingering around when the next thing pops up? Do we want this lingering around? Because some more ugliness is going to come out from this. They already said, well, how they were paying the coaches to lose, and only paying certain coaches to lose, and incentivizing them to lose. So not only are you stacking the deck, but now you're incentivizing for the deck to be stacked, so that you can come back and say, well, they don't win. They don't win. Like, this guy here's the proof that they don't win, even though you were paying them to lose. So it's timing is everything. If I was him, I would stick to my guns, because it may not be today, and he may be wrong and strong and feeling like he's all confident now, but something else happens, and that's a sexual harassment. You know how the NFL works. Some kind of sexual harassment, or some kind of environment, a hostile work environment. Next thing you know, somebody spilling the beans. Yeah, they did do this. So now it gives it some more credence. So stay and watch it.
Okay.
Stay and watch it. That's how I feel.
I hear you. Anybody else? Before we move on? All right, I guess I'm moving on. So with that being said, still staying in the lane of the NFL. Yes, I love it. Kansas City Chiefs trade wide receiver Tyreek Hill for 5 draft picks. I love it. Love it. Let the dismantling of this team begin, so that they will never, ever win a championship. Thank God. Again.
Chris Jericho.
Yes, exactly. I am so happy. Get rid of that little fucker. Okay, troublesome ass. You know what I'm saying? So damn fast.
Wow.
He's annoying. You know what? And I'll give him props. He's a pretty good player. I'm not gonna deny that. He's a top player. He's just on a team that I don't like. That's all. But I give him his props. But I'm so glad that your favorite receiver is gone. Bye-bye. Well, no, that's not true, because it's still Travis Kelce. I forgot about him for a second. But This to me, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. And Juju, no. I mean, he's decent, but no. Okay, no. Sorry. No matter wherever you place him and whatever schemes you run from, still no. I'm not impressed. So good. I'm happy. I'm very happy. That's all I'll say.
You got that off your chest?
Yes, I did.
Are you done?
I am done. You may proceed.
I will let somebody else take it. You got me cracking up.
I'm just saying.
Nobody?
No. Oh, well, I could continue.
No, did you hear about what he said about the Jets when they asked him if was he going to trade the Jets?
No, what did he say?
They asked him about the Jets. He's like the Jets, and then he started laughing and shit.
Wow.
It's like almost like Jets who?
I don't get why they made that trade. I don't understand it. But whatever.
Well, I do.
I understand.
They're trying to make Tua look good. They're trying to give him. I guess they're trying to give
nothing to make Tua look good.
No,
nothing to make him look good.
Tua's trash. He doesn't have the arm strength for that. But I get it because this guy, if I'm not mistaken, the Chiefs put out an offer for this guy for him to become the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, and he still didn't take the money.
Well,
he still didn't take the contract. What's up?
It probably had to do with the guarantee of the money.
Okay, that's possible. And that's very possible.
And also how soon KC could get out of the contract.
Right, that's very possible.
And plus, he said he has family down in that area. He lives out in Miami, I guess, in the off season.
Okay.
So it works for him. The KC needs to rebuild it. They need to build their defense, and they need some other pieces. So they got
offensive line.
Right. They got a first round. They got a first round pick, a second round pick, and a fourth round pick in this draft. And they got a fourth round pick and another pick in the next year. So build draft capital. Also, they needed cap space. So getting rid of Hill, they had to make that move. And they picked up two other receivers, Juju Schuster-Smith being one of them, who's he's a solid receiver. He's not Tyreek Hill, but he's solid.
Exactly. He's solid.
And then they can go from there with the draft pick. That Miami draft pick will be a mid-round draft pick in the first round. So smart move. Now, the flip side is, so you don't trade a wide receiver. You don't trade for a wide receiver and give up 5 picks. The GM in Miami is smoking. He's a horrible GM.
I guess that filters down from the owner.
I know Miami picked up some other pieces. They picked up running back Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert. They added somebody for their offensive line, but I don't expect much from them because Tua, you said, is not a great quarterback. He's average.
Plus, they throw in games anyway, so.
Right, D. You know what I mean? So
now, what was this trouble Tyreek got into that Casey stood by him and supported him, and they turn around and he turned around?
That was a few years ago. I think it was with the kid. With the kid.
The kid.
It was like the kid and the girlfriend or wife, whatever. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like abuse. You know what I mean? And yeah, that situation kind of spearheaded my hatred of them, because I know I was on Twitter and I was like, well, I basically shamed Chiefs fans for like, okay, so you're gonna put a Super Bowl over people getting abused or whatnot. You understand? And the trolls were coming for me. You know what I'm saying? I had to block. I had to, say my stuff about, Kim Jong throwing a missile over there in Missouri and killing everybody, or wishing Patrick Mahomes a career-ending injury. Yeah, I love it. I said it. I own that shit. you know, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of
You're
spearheaded the
brutal,
whole
bro.
hatred. Hey, man,
Brutal.
listen, don't try to listen. Don't try to get at me or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know me like that. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go hard, man. I'm like, yo, I don't care. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't stand those bastards. I'm just
But
saying.
Andy Reid said it was business. He said him and Tyreek Hill are good. He said
Mm-hmm.
at the time Kansas City had no real cap space, so getting rid of Hill, they created I think almost $30 million in cap space.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not too bad. You know, that's not too bad at all. So, but I still don't want them to win a championship. That's bottom line. I don't care. I'm just happy.
Well, he's not winning one in Miami, so don't worry about it.
No,
you talking about KC?
The Miami could win. I don't give a damn about them. I'm talking about KC.
You know well, that whole division, that whole AFC West division is going to be up for grabs this season.
Yeah, for
anyway.
sure. Yeah, exactly. I was loving that
it's
too.
It's going to be a pick 'em.
Word.
There's nobody that stands out in that division. Nobody.
Nope. You're right. You're 100% correct. So, bye, KC.
Wow.
Hey, man. I'm sorry. I can't stand them. You know, and that was all. And it's not even the team I hate. I hate the fans. I hate those fuckers. You know. So, bye. Sorry, KC fans.
Man.
Hey, brutal. Man. What can I tell you? It's brutal here. It's brutal. Let's move on. Where's my man Bishop at? The New York Knicks. Okay, currently, I think they won 4 in a row. They just beat the Chicago Bulls. That game was on earlier tonight.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Why?
Why are they winning?
Why? Yeah, exactly. Why do you not take a page out of the Miami Dolphins playbook? I don't know. Why?
Dwayne, I'm sure Dwayne can answer that one. Why, Dwayne?
Because there's their annual screw ourselves out of the draft. every year they screw themselves out of a top pick.
Wow.
They're gonna end up like at the number 10 pick. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Yep. That's what they do.
Now's the time you want to decide to play basketball the way it's supposed to be played. Pretty
much.
Don't get it.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
They can't be trying to get in the play-in because they're not going to get in the play-in.
It's got like 6 games left. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
and I think they like
that.
Mm-hmm. Good. Go ahead, Bishop. I'm sorry.
Maybe they should have thought about that when they were throwing 15, 20 games down the toilet with just stupid plays at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid plays at the end of the game. It's like you could say, oh, they didn't have a point guard. They don't have this. They had point guards. They had point guards.
Julius Randle?
No.
Oh, shit.
Like, Kemba Walker is a serviceable point guard.
Oh.
Serviceable point guard.
I'm not
threw
even.
Him away. You threw him under the bus.
I'm tired. I'm tired of the Knicks and point guards and stuff. Knick point guards and stuff like that. They are. I don't know, that whole bunch, Leon Rose, all of them, they all could go burn in hell as far as I'm concerned because they suck.
Agreed.
It wasn't the management though. It wasn't
the management.
The team that they put together,
management, bro.
The team that they put together.
Who put the team together?
But I'm saying the team that they put together. You see how they playing now? You see how the Knicks are playing now?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't they been playing like this all season? Now I'm not saying that they were going to win a championship. They were going to come out of the East. But they would have been competitive. They would have won their 45 to 50 something games and been in the playoffs, lost in the second round, and then you would have had something to look forward to next season. Potentially attract somebody that. Yeah.
They should have benched Randall weeks ago. Basically,
it was
after the All-Star break.
Too late.
Nope.
60 something games in, he finally decided, I'm going to stop shooting step back threes and I'm going to drive to the basket. I'm going to use my mid-range game. I'm not going to shoot 8 to 12 step back 3-pointers a game. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to look off Fournier. I'm not going to look off the other 3-point shooters on the team to take my shot. I'm actually going to work with Fournier because if he's on that side, they can't double team me as much. So or the double team has to come from all the way on the other side of the court.
So are you trying to say his basketball IQ just went up? Is that what you're telling me?
He has no basketball IQ. He's an idiot.
Oh my God.
He has no basketball IQ. He has no.
Maybe he's seeing a therapist now.
Damn.
Who?
Damn.
Randall?
Yeah, maybe he's seeing a therapist.
Oh no, he has no basketball IQ. I'm like, you saw a double team last year in the playoffs, and the same double team is happening to you all season, and all season you've turned the ball over all season from a double team. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like you don't watch game film. You don't watch game film. You don't see, okay, if the double team is coming from here, these are what my options are. Before the double team even gets there, what are my options? Once I receive the double team, what's my options? It's like, let me position myself so I'm not on the sideline or I'm not on the baseline, or let me position myself at the free throw line so I got all kind of options. So it's hard for them to double team me because as soon as I turn, I'm right there by the basket. I got more options. It's simple. It's not rocket science. But I'll jump up in the air. I'll fire a 90-mile-an-hour left-handed screwball at somebody, and they get mad. And they get mad when it's a turnover. Get mad when it's a turnover. 60-something games into the season, finally got it. And I'm like, is that the management or is that the coach not managing the players and executing a winnable game plan? To me, that's more on the coach. You could say, okay, well, management didn't get this type of player or didn't get this type of player. No, if you got guys who are not willing to accept their roles, it's like, truth be told, Randall is a third option on any team. He's not the first, he's not the second. He's a good third option.
So who's number one on the team right now?
Nobody. It's by committee. Nobody is number one because R.J. Barrett on any given night, teams stop him. So nobody at this point. We got a team that has a bunch of guys who are capable of scoring 10 to 15 points a night, and that's capable, and that's more than enough for you to win half of your games.
No,
you shouldn't be losing to Orlando. You shouldn't be losing to OKC. You shouldn't be losing to Detroit. Those are games that you should win. With this crew that you got there, you should win. 15 to 20 games, you pissed off this whole season. You pissed it away just on stupidness. You lost to OKC like 2-3 times. Like 2 times you lost to OKC. How many times you lost to Orlando? Just don't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
Bad matchup.
Leon Rose, love.
Yeah, Leon Rose is not on the court making stupid plays at the end of the game. Leon Rose is not on the court.
Leon Rose
jacking up
horrible roster.
No, Leon Rose is not jacking up 3-pointers at the worst possible points of the game. Leon Rose is not doing that. He's not missing free throws.
We got 2 point guards who are getting around with tape and string. And Rose, what happened? Injured.
Yes.
Kemba Walker could play once. He could have a good game once a week because his knees are arthritic.
Yeah, but what were you asking him to do? What were you asking Kemba to do? Bring the ball up, run the offense.
Kemba Walker's not a pass first point guard. He's a scorer.
Bring the ball up, execute the offense, hit your open shots.
He can't do that. He's never done that.
Thank you.
Well, first of all,
he's never
came off his sabbatical. When he came off of his sabbatical, you asking him for 10 to 15 points a night, 5 to 7 assists a night. He's more than capable of doing that.
You're asking a leopard to change his spots. No, he's not.
He's never averaged.
He's never been that. He's never been that.
When he was in Charlotte, he was a scorer because he had to be a scorer. They had nobody.
Okay, and that's all he knows.
They had nobody.
Let's go back to college. That's all he knows.
He had to be a scorer there.
Okay, so at what point did he develop point guard skills? He didn't. Never did.
Wow.
So when he was playing in Charlotte, and the
I'll
offense
wait.
kind of like revolved around him, and he got all of these guys, like he was the main scorer because they didn't have anybody, but he still got the guys around him involved in playing. It wasn't just like he was putting up. It wasn't just like he was putting up stupid
20
numbers.
and 5.
20 and 5, and Charlotte was winning games. Charlotte was playing 500 ball. It was playing 500 ball.
Okay.
Well, wait.
What about when
he went to Boston though?
When he went to Boston,
20 and 5 with super bad knees.
When he went to Boston, it was the wrong move because Tatum and Brown didn't want to listen to anybody. Tatum and Brown were like, you go, I go. You go, I go. You go, I go. So it wasn't a good fit. It wasn't a good fit. He got back to New York, and Tom Thibodeau, because it wasn't the guy he chose, decided that he was going to throw this dude under the bus. It's like he's more than capable. If DJ Augustine is still in the league, and some of these other guards that are still in the league that aren't, even with Kemba's bad knees, are still half as good as Kemba at this stage in his career. There's room for Kemba in this league. So you ain't asking him to score 40 points. You asking him to hit the open shot, move the ball around the perimeter, and basically run the offense. That's all you ask him to do. That's all.
But he's not capable of doing that.
Says who?
Him.
You're asking him for 10. You're asking him for 10 points and 5 assists a night. He's not capable of doing that.
You can't run an offense if the offense is going through you, bro.
The offense wasn't going through him. The offense would have been going through Randall. The offense would have been going through Fournier. The offense would have been going through other guys. He would have just been the guy setting the table.
You need a point guard to do that. And he is not that. He's a 2 guard. He's Ben Gordon the second. That's who he is.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I see something different when I watch them play.
He's a better version of Ben. He's a better version of Ben Gordon, but he got bad knees. He had one good game a week. The rest of the roster, super.
He had a few, but I'm saying he had a few good games. But that's after he came off that. When they threw him under the bus and said the reason why the starting lineup wasn't playing right is because he was the problem. You take him out of the starting lineup, and they still have the same problem. It's even worse. It's even worse. So that says to me is he wasn't the problem in that starting unit. The problem in that starting unit was you got 2 ball hogs who, when they get the ball, they're taking shots that are not the shots that you designed in your offense. They're not the shots that they can hit. And it's just throwing the offense off.
So, Bishop, you got 3 guys who are ball hogs because Kemba's a ball hog.
Well, he didn't play that role is what I'm saying. When he did not play that role.
Well, then he wasn't being himself. He was a bad fit here.
10 points. So, again, 10 points a game, 5 assists a game. That's all, and no turnovers. That's all you were asking him to do.
What 5 assists?
He's more than capable of doing that.
What 5 assists? He doesn't get 5 assists.
5 assists would have been hitting Fournier off of curls, hitting guys on a fast break, hitting guys filling the lane, hitting guys filling the lane.
All I saw Kemba do was what Kemba did in Charlotte. Let me get the ball, break somebody down. Either I'm gonna shoot it or I'm gonna drive to the basket. That's what he does.
There were times during the games. There were times during the games, a 5-10 minute stretch where he got hot, and he was hitting the shot. And then you could isolate and have him take advantage of the fact that he's quicker or that he's small and he knows how to get his shot off. There were times during the season but then at some point, Tom Thibodeau, in his genius, decided that having Kemba on the court was a detriment to Randall's game and RJ's game. And again, it's like that again, if you got somebody on the court who's a threat.
He's not wrong.
If you have somebody on the court who's a threat from the perimeter, then that means it's harder to double team the main guy. It's harder to double team him because if you got Fournier feeding him the ball it can't be Fournier's man coming off the double team. If you got Kemba up top, it can't be Kemba's man coming over to double team because you have that threat. So now you only have two other options. You got the center coming over to help double team, or you got that far man coming over to help double team, and it's too much ground to make up to get back to your man. And if the center comes, somebody just rolls to the basket and they got an easy layup. That's basketball 101. That's basketball 101.
But they don't know how to play basketball 101. Exactly. Kemba is not that dude. He is not going to set up. He's not going to set up Randall. He's not going to set up JR. Kemba's going to set up who? Kemba.
He didn't have the opportunity to.
Even if he had the opportunity, he still
Randall
wasn't going to do it.
Would take the ball off the rim.
He still was not going to do it.
All right. Well,
they should have just got Rondo then.
That would have been too much, because then that would have meant that those guys would have had to have played a certain way, because Rondo wouldn't have had that. They would have had to have played a certain way, and again,
which would have been possibly the right way.
Yeah, maybe they need somebody to go out there and spice their ass up.
When you say play a certain way, what are you talking about?
They would have had to have played the right way. You wouldn't have had Randall taking step back threes during the games. Doing crucial points in the game.
The ball up either.
You wouldn't have Randall bringing the ball up and turning the ball over, or dribbling the ball off his foot, or trying to set the table when he really doesn't want to pass.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
When Kemba was playing, if memory serves me correctly, Randall was still bringing up the ball and turning it over, wasn't he?
He was ball hogging. Yes, absolutely. You are absolutely correct. Yep.
So what's the purpose of having Kemba Walker out there then?
What's the purpose of having Fournier out there if RJ and Randall are the only ones that are going to be shooting 3-pointers? When you got one of the best 3-point shooters in the league on the court, and he's not getting the ball. What's the point of having him out there too? What's the point of having Mitchell Robinson out there when you could throw a lob to, but you don't pass him the ball? What's the point of having him out there? What's the point of having anybody out there?
Because you don't have a point guard out there.
It's not about the point guard, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's not about that. It's about these guys, their basketball IQ, and making the right play. It's like Randall spent all of this energy bringing the ball up and trying to be something that he's not. And it's like, dude, it hurt your game.
Let me stop you for a second. The way the NBA is played now, whoever gets the ball brings the ball up the court. They sped the game up. You got 10 seconds to get the ball across half court, which leads to sloppy basketball, which leads to dumb basketball, which leads to Randall doing what he does or RJ doing what he does. And they don't have a point guard because Kemba Walker never, when I played point guard. Yo, give me the ball, move out the way. I got it. Kemba Walker never did that. Rose, maybe at times when he was playing, he would get the ball and they would give him the ball and move out the way. But the way basketball is played now, nobody waits for the point guard. They generally bring it up once they get the ball.
I won't say nobody.
And basketball. Okay. Well, not everybody, but
Phoenix, for example.
Well, it's CP3. CP3 will curse you out. Yo, get off the ball, stupid.
That's probably what the Knicks need. They need somebody to get into their ass whenever they made bad shots.
No,
or whenever they don't set up plays.
They need to get rid of Randall.
That too, yeah.
They need to get rid of him.
It's too late. They can't get rid of Randall right now. Contract too big. And certain teams have looked at how he's played this year and they say, oh, he took a step back. He's playing
he regressed.
He's playing like the bad Randall.
Right.
He played better last year because once they got Rose did what Rose does. Rose played a better point guard last year.
Last year messed up everybody's heads.
Right. That's very apparent. Exactly.
He didn't have to be the number one guy.
Right, and also everybody swung the ball.
Right.
RJ has a penchant for getting the ball and putting his head down and going to the rim.
Yep.
Randall gets the ball and does what he used to do. You know, he hasn't been efficient this year. He's still getting 20 points, but he's shooting a lot of 9 for 25 games and
Right.
7 for 23s.
Mac, he's taking horrible shots.
He is.
Horrible shots.
Yes.
Not just with the 3-pointer. Okay.
Well, all across the board.
Yeah. He's taking
He's
some
been
I've
inefficient.
seen. Very.
He turns the ball over.
That too.
Bad situations that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it starts with, for me, it starts with the GM. You had money and you didn't spend it wisely. You didn't speak to your coach and listen to your coach when he told you what he wanted.
Yeah, but
I don't. If you tell me I don't want Kemba Walker and you go get me Kemba Walker, I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah, but the coach doesn't dictate personnel. The coach looks at what the personnel is. For me, it's like if you use the personnel
why do you have me then?
to the best of the ability that you could. If you got as much as you could out of the personnel that you had and you still fell short, then you look at the GM. If you looked at the personnel and you made up in your mind that I'm not using this dude, I'm not using that guy, I'm not using that guy because this is not the guy that I wanted, then that's not coaching. That's not coaching.
But that's not
that's
GM.
Being ego. That's ego. That's coaching ego. That's not coaching.
Because
it's like good coaches.
If he didn't listen to him when he said, "Listen, I don't want
but I don't have to.
This guy.
I don't have to.
Okay,
I'm the GM. You the coach. Coach who I give to you. Coach who I give you. And if you fall short,
you can't.
But I'm saying if you fall short,
you can't do that.
If you fall short, but I'm saying if you fall short, using the personnel that we got you, then you are 100% legitimate to come back to me and say the team that you got me was not capable of doing this. If you fall short, but if you don't even, but I'm saying if you don't even try to execute with the personnel that you have, if you don't try to execute with the personnel that you have, you can't come back to me as the GM and say you didn't give me the guys that I wanted, because then that's something else. That's not about basketball. That's about ego.
Well, it wasn't about basketball.
450 guys. 450 guys. But I'm saying there's 450 guys in the league. These guys are good enough to play NBA basketball. These guys are good enough to play NBA basketball. It's 450 of them.
Okay.
450 of them.
Let me stop you for a second and let me ask you a question. Mike D'Antoni with Shaq and Kevin McHale. Why you quiet?
I'm listening.
Why you quiet, Bishop?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the question too.
How would that work out?
Again, what's Mike D'Antoni's coaching record? What has he ever won?
Nothing.
Exactly.
But answer the question.
What has Pop won? What has Pop won? What has Pop won? No, I'm giving you a classic example. What has Pop won by coaching to the personnel instead of coaching to what my personal beliefs are? Let's
get that straight. He's the GM also.
Yeah, but whatever he had on the court before he became the GM,
bro.
Whatever he had on the court.
The groceries.
But I'm saying, whatever he had on the court,
he came from upstairs.
But I'm saying, whatever he had on the court, he coached that.
He has final say on everything, which means he picked the groceries.
Right. Well, again, I still come back to the point of
example.
if you I'll give you a classic example. You're on your job,
yes,
and management makes a decision that you don't necessarily agree with. As management, I reserve the right to tell you how you should do my business. Now, if it doesn't work out the way I anticipated it would, as management, that's on me. But if you don't execute as I instructed as management, and then you say, well, it's not going to work. You never executed as I instructed you to, so you can't come back to me legitimately and say this is not going to work because you never executed as I told you. You didn't execute the plan that I put in place.
I would do the job to the letter, and I would make. I would say we need to do this as opposed to that.
Okay.
My boss has to either take that into consideration or ignore it, which has happened at jobs where they ignored what I said, and then the bad stuff happened, or stuff didn't happen that needed to happen the way it should. So, and again, going back to my question, Mike D'Antoni coaches a certain way, so
I don't think he's a coach. He's not a coach. Mike D'Antoni.
I agree. I totally agree with the Bishop on that.
I don't like Mike D'Antoni, but he's a coach, and he coaches a certain way.
If you tell me you can't coach defense,
he has a certain style, and he coaches a certain way. And
he said he can't coach defense. There's two sides to the ball. He said he doesn't coach defense.
Right.
What that says to me is you're not a coach. There's two sides to the game. I only coach offense.
So Bishop, Tibbs isn't an offensive coach. He's a defensive coach. Yes or no?
Tibbs is an illusionary defensive coach. Because in my mind, if you are a defensive coach, you should have been able to come up with a defensive scheme that hides the deficiencies that you have in RJ, that you had in Kemba, that you had in Fournier. You should have been able to devise a scheme that hit those.
Those are four bad defenders. Stop.
That hit those. No, three. That hit those. Because Randall can play D. He just chose not to. He's a bad defender. All four of them are bad defenders. Stop. He just chose not to. No. Randall
there's no hiding bad defenders. You can't hide a bad defender on the floor. If you got four of them on the floor, you can't hide them.
I had gotten to this with Mac recently, either a week ago or a couple weeks ago, about the same thing when he was talking about they're bad defenders, and Bishop, I'm saying the same thing you are. I'm like, yo, if you at least can you keep somebody in front of you?
Basically,
they don't do that.
At the very least,
and they don't do that well,
because they're focused on what? RJ is focused on getting the ball and running on a break. I'm not passing that to nobody. If you look at how many times he got the ball on the fast break, how many passes has he made? How many passes has he made on the break? I don't give a shit who's in front of me. I don't care who's on the side of me. I'm not passing that ball.
So now we're not talking about defense. We're talking about.
I'm saying the motivation for not playing defense. The motivation for not playing defense is because I'm anxious to get back on offense.
He's
always in the wrong place. He's not average.
Well, he's a bad defender.
Yeah, he's always in the wrong place. He's always in the wrong place.
Okay.
Walker's a bad defender. There's no getting around that.
So you mean to tell me, as a NBA player, that if the coach devised a defensive scheme where we don't play man, we don't play man.
Hold on.
We don't play man.
Hold on. There's a caveat for you. They're 7th in defense in this year. So they're not a bad defensive team.
The 7th in what?
Defense.
And yet they lose to teams that are like OKC, Orlando.
But they lose because they're bad offensively.
No, they can't stop anybody.
But they don't get stops in the fourth quarter.
They can't stop
because
anybody.
They got 4 bad defenders on the floor.
Toronto.
You can't hide them, bro. You can't hide them.
Toronto came into the Garden. Anunoby took the challenge, guarded Randall, dropped 38 on him, career high. Dropped 38 on him. He guarded Randall. Randall guarded him.
They lose most of their games in the fourth quarter. They played 3
Randall's decided
really
not to play D. Yeah.
And they lose in the fourth quarter.
They keep the games close, and then at the end, they make stupid plays.
Because they can't play defense.
I don't think. I honestly, I don't think it's. I mean, I hear what you're saying, Mac, and it's they do not make stops when they need to. But I think it's also the inconsistency on offense as well that plays into it. To me, it's a combination. It's a combination because now you can't hit shots. You're not stopping anybody. That's a recipe for disaster and for losses that shouldn't happen.
You're taking bad shots. Not that you can't hit shots. You're taking bad shots.
Indeed.
But Rose has to. He has to appease me, you, Bishop. Reggie and Dwayne and the rest of the New York Knicks fans next year. This year was a throwaway season. You got to fix that roster. You got to get you. We need a point guard. We need a point guard not yesterday but tomorrow.
Yeah, so if you get a point guard, and you still have the same knuckleheads.
Hold on. We also need a wing defender who can hit open threes.
Okay, what's the over under that they do not acquire what you just said?
I don't trust Leon Rose, and Worldwide West needs to take that moniker off his name because nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, because he's worldwide.
There's a couple of them out there. I know Sexton ain't gonna really be commanding big bucks in Cleveland because the other dude he's proven that he's the guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's sort of the best thing that happened to Sexton was, and it's unfortunate, was that he got injured. Now Cleveland needs to trade him.
Yeah, but the Knicks don't have any trade value on that team.
He's not valuable.
We can trade Randall.
I'm saying he's not that valuable.
Cleveland doesn't need Randall.
And they're not going to take him anyway.
Isn't Sexton unrestricted free agent?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
coming off an injury.
Yeah, they don't have to trade him. Well, he's serviceable. He's a young point guard. He's serviceable.
Well, he's more than serviceable. He's a guy who can get you 20.
Right. But
he can pass the ball, and he's a really solid defender. Knicks should draft him. Knicks should sign him. Knicks need to get them a 3-and-D guy because you can't have RJ and Fournier. At times, you have to separate them and have a defensive player on the floor with those two guys. They both
or another novel concept. Just hear me out. Another novel concept. You just stick your fucking man. How about that? Keep your man in front of you. I'm just not saying that you're going to stop everybody. But just keep your man in front of you. Box out. Play solid.
When has Fournier been a good defender?
Never.
All right.
But if you got everybody else not playing,
RJ is a little better, but neither one of them are good defenders. So you get what you put out there.
So the whole purpose of getting Fournier was so that they couldn't double team Randall as easily. That was the whole purpose of getting Fournier. Yeah, so those two were supposed to have a synergy. They were supposed to set up on the same side. If the teams decided that they wanted to double,
it's working out.
Yeah, but if Randall doesn't pass the ball back, it's these last from like the 60-second game up until now, Randall finally figured out, hey, maybe I should play off of this guy and have this guy play off of me, as opposed to looking him off and taking a step back three. Maybe I should use him because he's gonna loosen up the defense because they can't double team on his side.
I guess he said Evan Fournier can't make the three, so if he gonna miss it, I can miss it too.
Yeah.
Right. Hell yeah.
That's what that was.
That's what that was. Yeah. I just frustrating, like, as a Knicks fan, it's just frustrating. Like, I had to stop watching because it's like, you guys keep doing the same stupid stuff. It's like at the end of the games, RJ is hard left. The defense is setting up. Everybody's waiting. You don't have a mid-range game. He only gonna pass the ball to Randall. Randall's gonna do that ugly step back 3-point shot that hits the back of the rim, or he's gonna turn the ball over.
Right.
And it's just like, every single game. It's like this is crazy.
It is.
And it's like, what is the coach doing? Just standing there with his arms folded, with the crazy look on his face.
Exactly.
With the hoarse voice, and it's like, you never regulated this to be like, I don't need you taking 3-pointers. I don't want you taking 3-pointers. Stay in the mid range.
We're gonna do a little moving on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The New York Knicks, whatever.
Wow.
Let's get into the lane of boxing a little bit. Gervonta Tank Davis hints at leaving the Mayweather camp. You know, I don't know. Gervonta is talented. He's a hell of a boxer. You understand? Mac, how old is Gervonta? What was he, 27? 28? Might be younger than that. You know? However, with that being said, he's a young boxer. He's got all the gifts. He's got great boxing skill. Under the tutelage of Floyd, I think benefited him a lot. Now, if you're hinting at leaving Floyd, not saying you're not going to be as successful, because you still can be because of your raw talent, but I don't know. I don't feel too comfortable with him leaving TNT. To be honest, I can't hear you. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't hear Mac. I think he was saying something.
He's 27.
Oh, there he is. So he is 27. Okay, fine. Okay, all right. I couldn't hear you for a second, but I'm just saying. I think you should stay where you at. You know what I'm saying? Don't get brand new on Floyd. Stay where you're at. You know what I'm saying?
Where's he gonna go?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the
Mhm.
thing. Floyd is still connected to Al Heyman, even though they have separate things. If I was Gervonta, if I were to leave, there's only two places I would go. That would either be Al Heyman or go to Matchbox. But you in the best place to be, because you have one of the greats who you can soak up not only his boxing acumen, but also his business acumen.
Right.
Why would you want to leave? And sometimes I think people they don't want to be in Floyd's shadow, but if it were me, I would be with that guy every day.
Exactly.
I would have him train me. I would go to the gym with him.
Yeah.
And we got to remember, Gervonta is also friends with Adrian Broner.
Oh God. Oh, I forgot. Oh God. Why?
We see how that worked out for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gervonta is one of the best fighters in boxing. He's one of my favorites. Maybe he wants the bigger fights, but you kind of stuck because you only 5'5".
Right.
I can only see you going up to maybe 140, 147.
That 147 is it for me, to be honest.
And I don't know if he can. I don't know if he should do that now.
I don't think
there's
so.
There's a lot of talent at 135.
Well, that last fight that he had, I'm saying that last fight that he had, tough. Was that a tough Mexican dude or whoever that dude was that he fought? What? That's what you got to look forward to, and it's like, yeah, you might want to stay where you are, so that you make the most money, you continue to push your brand,
right?
Continue to push and promote your brand, and you stay in the you're not dodging anybody, but you're staying in your lane. You stay in your lane. When you start reaching too much, it's like, yeah, I know you're powerful or whatever, but when you get to those other weight classes, these dudes could take that. They could take that. They eating that and saying, what else you got? What else you got?
Yep.
That's it. And it's like, he's one of those, to me, when I watched that last fight, it seemed like when the dude was eating his shots and he couldn't really inflict, his will, impose his will, he had a problem with that.
Yeah, I see what you mean by that.
He had a problem with that. Like he didn't know what to do with that.
That was at 135.
That dude was he was a decent fighter, but
definitely
he ate whatever what's the name had to offer, and it's like you get into another fight, you get into there with another fighter who can eat what you have to offer and also dish it out. I don't know what it's like. Yeah, I wouldn't be too comfortable, you know what I'm saying, reaching that far out, and then also trying to reach up to a different weight class. It's like your power at this level ain't power at the other. It's being solid. It's being a solid fighter. Like you can keep a guy from just walking you down, but you ain't discouraging them, and that'll be a problem for him.
Understood.
Small, yeah, that you small, and now guys are just gonna fight tall and just weigh you down.
Yep.
That's it.
Listen, the best bet is for me. You're 27 years old, so you haven't reached your prime yet. You haven't maxed out.
Right.
Stay at 135, bruh. Fight those guys who are there.
Right.
Fight Tiafimo.
Yeah.
Fight the other Latin guy. Fight one of the brothers. You already beat Leo Santa Cruz.
Right. Demolished him.
Right. Try to get in the ring with
what's my man, Mikey?
No, Mikey hasn't been really active, man. Mikey is at 140.
Oh shit. Okay.
See this, and you know Bishop just talked about that. Mikey went up to 147. You fought Errol Spence. You got the break speed off of you.
Right. For sure.
You went back down, and it hasn't been the same. You haven't been active like you should. And I liked Mikey Garcia. I thought he was a fantastic fighter.
Right. Exactly.
He went for that. He went to go get that big money fight. And we all knew Errol Spence was going to beat you down because he's just bigger than you.
Exactly.
Don't be that, Gervonta.
Well, we'll see soon enough. You know, like I said, listen. You should already know what side your bread is buttered on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Stay where you at and call it a career. You know what I'm saying? Call it a day. Hell, call it a career. You know what I mean? And let that be that. And that's it, man. You know? So, good luck, Tank. I'll just say that. I'll just say that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's go to, still staying in the lane of boxing. Let's go to Terence Crawford wants the winner of either Spence versus Ugas or the 154 contest between Charlo and Castano fight. Now, Mac, you had some definite thoughts on this one. And I understand why. You understand Terence Crawford? Well, you need to stay where you're at, bro. You know, he doesn't need to go up. Is that your assumption, Mr. Max 611?
Listen, like we said in the text group, fight Swift. Fight some other guys at 147 to fight. Try to make the fight with Errol Spence. I would love to see the fight with him and Errol Spence.
Right.
Fight. You know, whoever wins between Spence and Ugas, I think Spence is going to beat Ugas. But if you can't get Spence, fight Ugas.
Right.
You have no business going up to 154.
No.
And yes, Jamel Charlo is somewhat of a question mark because he fought Castano before. I don't see you as a 154 pound. I don't see you as a super welterweight. Crawford, your weight is 147. You could probably go back down to 140, but he's another small guy.
Right.
He's 34. He's a free agent right now. What you need to do is go get with Al Heyman and PBC and make some money. You should have never went back to top rank in that Sith Lord.
I mean,
otherwise you'd have had money fights.
I mean, how much money can he make at this age, at this point right now? I mean, the clock is winding down in his career. at 34 years old. Let's keep it real. You understand? And to me, it's definitely it's like a suicide if you go up at this point. It's a suicide. You're gonna ruin your legacy. No, I'm dead serious. He's gonna ruin his legacy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As a boxer, if he dares to move up, that's like career suicide for him. You understand what I'm
saying? He has one of the belts. He's 38-0.
Mm-hmm.
He beat Sean Porter in November. Stopped him in the 10th round. That was a good fight.
Yes, it was.
He's never been at 154.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if he went to 154, he wouldn't be fighting the best in that class. He would be fighting like mediocre guys that it's like, yo, like I'm just here just to say that I fought a 154-pound guy, like a journeyman. I'm not fighting the top in this class because
it's some guys at 154 who are really middleweights.
But it's
bigger. So
but it's like what I have to offer as a mediocre, like to a mediocre middleweight is suitable. If I'm trying to go to the top of the ladder, that probably is not because the damage that I'm going to sustain is not like the weight class that he's in, where he's been able to get away. Guys hit him, but they don't have there's not a lot of power in that division.
Right.
So he's able to eat a lot of that and then come back and serve his dish. But it's like when you get to that next, it's like everybody giving out something, especially at the top of that division. Everybody giving out something. They got something for you. So it's just like I don't know. And it's
listen, Jamel Charlo is
right.
Jamel Charlo is a solid guy. I think he would beat Terence Crawford. You know I love Terence Crawford. Jarrett Hurd is another solid guy at 154. We still got Ursulande Lara, who's a gatekeeper right now.
Right. I'm just saying.
Castano's a good fighter.
Okay. I'm just saying, Bishop, you had mentioned that he doesn't have to fight the upper class of the 154-pound division. And I get that. But let's say if he fights the middle of the pack to the lower rung, you understand? If those guys were able to beat Terence Crawford, that'd be so insulting. And like I said, it would definitely leave a stain on his legacy as a boxer.
That's why you would stay. That's why you would stay in that. You would stay with those guys. You wouldn't venture past those guys.
But I'm just saying they still stand a puncher's chance just based on their weight and being bigger. You understand what I'm saying? So and maybe the ineffectiveness of his power punches at that weight. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but my logic is when you get to those weight classes, the guys that are at the bottom of it, in the middle of it, those are the guys who are pretty solid. They don't really have any power. They can't really cross that threshold in that division. They just are solid journeymen. Like they'll come in, like if you got an up and coming fighter, they'll give them a good sweat, a good workout. They ain't really tipping the scales. They're not going to be the Rockies of the division where it's like this one night out of my career, I'm gonna make it happen. It's like
Bishop, he's not trying to fight the lower guys. He wants to fight the top guys at 150.
That's what I'm saying. Like that wouldn't be because the punishment that you're gonna sustain at the top level,
and this is the problem with boxing. Guys want to move up in a weight class and they don't fight the guys who are in the middle or at the bottom. They just jump in and fight that guy. Right. Sort of like what Mikey Garcia did with Errol Spence. He leapfrogged 2 divisions to fight the top guy and got the break speed off of him.
Right.
It's sort of like when Triple G fought what's my man from England? Bust his eyeballs.
What the hell was
Bust
that?
his eye socket.
Kelly? No.
Yeah.
Was it Kelly?
Kellen, whatever. Kell Brook.
Yeah.
Oh, Kell Brook. Okay.
Kell Brook's another one. He jumped 2 weight classes to fight from 147 at 160 and got the brakes beat off him.
Yeah, that's a big difference in the punishment.
Exactly.
The punishment that they dishing out at that level, especially when you get to the top of the top of the division, the punishment that they dishing out is not something that you want to. It's not something that you want to be absorbing. It's just like, it's not something that you want. You could be tough, but it's like, why you want to get the brakes beat off you and win the fight when you don't have to go through that?
Right.
You might still win the fight because you got your skill set is, but you're gonna get the brakes beat off of you, and it's not like you're fighting for a title.
Stay at 147. Fight the top guys at 147 and try to get the fight with Errol Spence. Since you're a free agent now, Errol Spence has no excuse not to fight you.
Right.
Let's see if it gets done.
Well, at a certain point, it's like they're gonna run out of Errol Spence is gonna run out of guys to fight. So you're gonna have to take that fight.
Well, after he fights Ugas, he should beat Ugas. Not saying Ugas doesn't have a chance because Ugas is decent. The next fight should be you and Terence Crawford.
Who else is left? Who else is left in that division? Nobody.
Well, he hasn't fought Danny Garcia.
That's not a fight.
No, but
that's not a fight. You're gonna watch Danny Garcia dance around the ring and avoid getting hit, and you're gonna see what's the name stalking him down for the whole fight, and then finally getting some gloves on him, putting some mitts on him.
Porter retired.
He did.
He retired. So listen, it's Ugas, Virgil Ortiz Jr. I don't need to see him. Currently, Danny Garcia is the 8th ranked welterweight. He actually went down. He's been sort of active, but not. His last fight was against nobody.
Right. Just keeping his name in the hat, just in case something comes up.
Right. That's it.
Oh wait, Danny did fight Errol Spence. That's right. He did lose to Errol Spence. See, I forgot that. That's bad.
Wow. Well,
he danced around the ring.
Is nobody fight for Errol to fight but Terence?
Right.
That's it. That's what he was saying.
After this
guys.
That's what he was saying.
Errol fought Thurman. No, I mean Errol fought Porter. Did he fight Thurman?
I don't think he fought Thurman.
No, he didn't fight him.
No. And
Thurman
don't want none. He's done. He's mentally done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That, I could be wrong, but that's just what I feel. He's done because he hasn't done anything. You understand? And he's not even looking to do anything, to be perfectly honest.
147 was a cream division. It's not so more. Manny retired. Porter retired. Danny Garcia just he's on the downside of his career.
Yeah.
Thurman is Thurman.
We can't even get a Joe Horn back.
I think he retired too.
He get the brakes beat off of him.
He did.
Well, he did what he was supposed to do. He was hungry. He gave Manny a tough fight. He held the belt for a hot minute.
Exactly.
Got his payday.
And then gave it back.
Yeah, and that was the end of that. He said, "I'm out."
Listen, he probably opened a Jamba Juice or something now. He chilling with his wife, raising his kids.
He got a Domino's franchise. He's chilling right now. He's good. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. Let me let's get into this last topic. Back in the NFL, Colin Kaepernick wants a real shot at a job. Yeah, that right there, exactly. That what you just did, Bishop, exactly. I gotta tell you, listen, and not that I have anything against Colin, I truly don't, but I'm over it. I'm over it. Bottom line, you know what I'm saying? I mean, why? Why? Just move on. Get into other stuff, which you have already some stuff lined up, which you're into, you've been into. Just continue down that path. Forget about the NFL. It's done. It's done, dude.
I think maybe every so often every so often they can bring it up because then it brings attention to whatever platform he's
okay,
or whatever cause or whatever. It gives him that. It's just like a free marketing.
Yeah.
So now I can really.
I ain't mad at him for that either. Listen, I think Colin Kaepernick can play in the NFL. He's certainly better than Mike Glennon.
Yeah, he's better than Mike Glennon. He's better than Jake Fromm.
He's better than your redhead guy.
Yes,
there's used to play for Cincinnati.
Exactly. There's no question he can get a job in the NFL. If not as a starter, definitely as a backup. Okay.
He's 34 years old. He hasn't played in like 6 years.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Bro, we know they all did. They did you dirty. Yes, you were black.
Right.
I'm with Colin Kaepernick on everything he said because mostly everything he said about this system, about America, was true.
Right.
Well, he got a Nike deal. He has a Nike deal, Black at you. So, and they paid him.
Right.
So,
what's the platform this time? I don't know what Facebook user that is. I'm sorry if I, don't know your name, but he or she is asking, what's the platform this time? Well,
it's the same platform that has been. I think it's the same thing that has been.
Probably.
It's just you. Sometimes you got to keep beating the same drum over and over and over.
He's a social activist.
Yes, he is. And also the fact, do we want him to move on? Honestly, I want him to move on from the NFL. You're 34 years old. He hasn't played in 6 years? You said, Mac?
Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah. I it's done. It's like I said, first opening it up, the opening of this topic. I was like, I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Well, I think he knows it's over too. It's just like I said. To me, it just seems like every so often you just bring it up so that because it's like I don't know why you made your decision. You took your stand.
Right.
You made your decision, and people you opened up other avenues because people respected you because of the fact that you made a decision and took your stand.
Right.
And you stood on that. So you made the sacrifice. So you fall on that sword. You fell on that sword. So I don't think he wants a job in the NFL because it's like you basically expose the hypocrisy and so forth and so on in NFL and in America.
Right.
In general,
so at this point, Bishop, is he trolling?
Pretty much.
Because I see the video. He worked out with DK Metcalf and his brother. And I see other videos where he's slinging the ball around with professional wide receivers, and he should get a fair shot, but he will never get a fair shot. The last shot they tried to pull the rug out from under him. And people say, well, they did give him a shot. No, they didn't.
No,
they tried to BS him, and he didn't go for the BS, which I understand. He said, "Nah, I'm not doing that."
Right.
Give him a fair shot, like you would give Mike Glennon a fair shot.
But you already know that's not gonna happen.
Right.
That's just what it is. It's not gonna happen.
Right. The NFL is not about change. they really aren't about women and it's like they're not about empowering black people. I'm just keeping it real.
Exactly, and the damn sure ain't about fairness. How about that?
My question: why we still watch football? Why we still watch the NFL? Maybe I should watch the CFL.
Well, I know. My plan is this coming season, and it's simply watching reruns of 2.5 Men. That's it. That'll get me through on Sunday, Thursday, Monday. Yeah, that's it. Kings of Queens and 2.5 Men. That's it. That's all I'll be watching. Really. That's it.
What about your go-to 90-Day Fiance?
That's on Sundays. Okay. There you go. That'll work as well.
Oh boy, so you're into the social experimentation?
It's fun. Listen, the shit is hilarious. If you ever seen a season of this nonsense, you would be a regular watcher. I'm telling you. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Nah, my wife watches that stuff.
Okay.
She watches that. Watches that and Married at First Sight and all of that other stuff.
Right. All that.
Yeah,
okay,
like,
I get it.
It's like a social experiment. It's like, you know what? Marriage is hard enough.
Right.
This whole like 90-Day Fiance. Yeah, how you can really know somebody in 90 days or Married at First Sight. It's like, yeah.
I'm sorry. It's funny. I find it hilarious. You know.
Like, nah. That would never work. That would never work.
I hear you, man.
I don't care how much counseling they give you on TV.
Exactly.
It's like, when real life starts, it's like,
bro, it's hilarious. I don't care what anybody says. This shit cracks me up every time I see it. I'm like, wow.
I know my wife was telling me about one of the scenarios where it was a Chinese couple, and the guy told the Chinese woman she was too Chinese. I was like, what? I was like, what? I saw the preview. Yeah, he was like, yeah, you too Chinese.
Dude, it's stupid as hell, man. I'm telling you, man. This shit is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny to me. I'm like, how you gonna tell her you Chinese too?
You Chinese too, motherfucker. What the hell's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? This shit is dumb.
Oh,
yes.
That's Moody.
Oh, okay. All right, what's up, Moody? How you doing, man? Thanks for checking us out, man. Moody said, I watch Pee Wee football. Them 2-year-olds don't even know about corruption and hatred. Facts. Exactly. I ain't mad at you, Moody. You know? Hell yeah. All right, gentlemen. I gotta get up and work tomorrow. Unfortunately, 12 hours is calling me. So I'm gonna call it a night. Mac, Bishop, thanks for joining us as always. Shout out to who else is on with us? My man Double D. Also Reggie, thanks a lot. Yo, Black Action Production, thank you for always being here. Moody, peace and blessings. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Everybody else I may have not mentioned. Peace. Thanks for your support as always. Y'all have a great night. And we'll see you again soon.
I'm Rick James, bitch.